My father stole my voice with a pill. I was 10 when he forced it down my throat, called it a rite of passage, said it was holy, part of becoming a woman. That pill destroyed my voice, burned like acid. My throat swelled shut. I remember choking on silence, scratching at my neck like I could dig the sound back out. By morning, all I could do was whisper. He said women's voices were dangerous, that we tempted men just by speaking. He called it protection, said he was shielding the world from the sin of our words. My mother could barely speak above a whisper. My 3 older sisters too. You had to lean in, practically ear to mouth to hear them. But my brothers? They roared and shouted across rooms. Dad praised them for it. Speak like men, he'd say. Command the room. Girls weren't supposed to command anything. Girls bowed their heads and learned to speak with their eyes and hands. Mom came from a strict religious sect tucked away in the desert, the kind with sermons about Eve and shame and feminine corruption. They believed a woman's voice could twist a man's mind like a vine strangling a tree. Their solution? Softening ceremonies. After a girl's first period, her family would gather, light candles, and have her swallow a small white pill. The drug muted her dangerous gift. She'd be praised afterward for her sacrifice, her modesty. When I got mine, Dad made a whole event out of it, cleared out the living room. My sisters were already standing in a line, heads down, hands clasped like they were about to pray. My brothers slouched on the couch, bored. Today, Dad said, lifting the pill like it was holy, you become a woman. He smiled. I bolted. Didn't make it far. Got halfway through the kitchen before he tackled me. My brothers helped. They pinned my arms. One sat on my legs. I screamed and thrashed and kicked until I was hoarse. He held my jaw open and shoved the pill in. I spat it out. He did it again. I tried to bite him. He slapped me. I held my breath. He waited me out. That night, I dry heaved into a bucket. Refused water for nearly a full day. My mouth was sandpaper. My stomach cramped. But eventually I gave in, drank, swallowed. It was over. I woke up with my throat on fire. Couldn't speak, couldn't yell, not even to ask why. I spent hours trying to make a sound that didn't come out like broken glass. Every laugh, every sob got stuck in my chest like a balloon that wouldn't rise. And then life just settled into that. A whisper world, quiet meals, silent rooms, conversations made of scribbled notes and mimed hand gestures. Dad loved it, told us to speak up at the dinner table, then smirked when we couldn't. What, cat got your tongue? He'd say. Every damn night. Our home felt like a church where only he could preach. My brothers stomped and joked and bellowed. My sisters and I were ghosts. Even school didn't save us. Dad homeschooled all the girls. Hours of lectures about purity and obedience. If I tried to ask a question, he'd ignore me, pretend not to hear. My brothers would echo it. Did she say something? Until I gave up. Once I pushed too hard. Tried to ask why we couldn't go to real school. Had to repeat myself 6 times. By the end, my throat was bleeding. Literally. Metallic taste, pink spit. He said I needed to be more grateful, but the worst was Alice, my sister. She fell trying to fix the curtain rod upstairs. Dislocated her shoulder. She tried to scream, but nothing came out but this horrible rasp, like something dying. The effort ripped her throat. There was blood, real blood, soaking her shirt. We all froze. Dad walked up, looked down at her gasping on the ground and said, "This is what happens when you fight your nature." That was it for me. I snapped. Stayed up at night with my laptop under the covers. Started researching. Found everything. That pill, not sacred, not holy. A veterinary drug used on horses. In humans, it causes muscle deterioration, including vocal cord paralysis. My dad wasn't guiding us. He was drugging us, destroying us. I made a folder, copied links, screenshots, wrote everything down. I had a plan. I'd run to the police station, hand them the evidence, tell them everything. But the next morning I came downstairs and Dad was already at the table, calm, smiling, holding my journal in one hand. "I read your little science project," he said, like it was a joke. "You clearly don't appreciate your softened voice, so we'll finish what we started." I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Click the full story to see what happened next.